Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and welcome to the Business Roundup, where we catch up with the movers, shakers in the business world. Today, joining me is Hannah Herbst. She is one of the inventors behind AutoTQ and the founder of Golden Hour Medical. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So, you have an interesting background because you kind of come from a different angle. Like, you got interested in technology more so just in solving problems, like everyday problems that people encounter. Can you discuss a little bit about your background and just what made you get interested in this kind of section of the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as a kid, I really wasn't on a technology path at all until I don't know what my dad saw, but he saw something in me and said, you know what, why don't we introduce her to engineering? And he brought me to this engineering summer camp, and I was the only girl in the camp. And obviously, I was like, take me home. I don't want to be here. But he encouraged me to just try it for one day. And from that point forward, I was really excited about robotics and about solving problems with technology. And I loved the aspect of you can come up with an idea and you can create something to solve a problem. And that just became really everything that I was interested in. And I did it all the way through college. I did a lot of science fair research projects, had a ton of amazing opportunities off of those, and realized after college, maybe the way to do this is to start a company. I had professors encourage me, hey, you can start a business. You don't need to go back to school. And I said, okay, let's just give it a shot. And now to see AutoTQ out there actually helping people has been just the journey of a lifetime. And I'm very grateful.
That's amazing. So a lot of times too, I mean, now you went through the university and college and stuff like that, but I think a lot of people are discovering there's different areas to entrepreneurship and business, forming a business. I know there was another thing that kind of shaped some of the technology that you came up with, and that was a emergency response innovation. So one of the questions I had is like, what really got you interested in like coming up with technology for this type of emergency response? Now I know, it was an emergency response innovation that kind of really deals with, when you have uncontrolled bleeding, which can happen like at car accidents, a shooting, any of these types of events. What kind of inspired you to come up with technology to help people when this is like, can turn fatal very quickly?
Absolutely, yes. So I learned that blood loss is the number one cause of preventable death and trauma, and that a tourniquet is really the only way that you can stop bleeding from arms and legs. But unless you're an expert, then tourniquets are really challenging to use. Even immediately after training, 80% of people still apply them incorrectly. And don't get me wrong, they are life-saving in trained hands, but for a lot of people or someone like me who is not really an expert bystander but would want to jump in and help, those tourniquets are really hard to use. So I thought, why don't we come up with a tourniquet that's really simple to use that walks you through the process of stopping a bleed? And it just seemed sort of obvious to me and to my team. And so we decided to sort of pursue this idea. And now it's being used by heroes across the country. And it's been really amazing to see the response to it by both professionals and lay bystanders as well.
Right. And you were kind of mentioning, I mean, this could be like on a construction site, for a car accident, someone's in like, you're in a big event, something happens, there's casualties too, as far as like big sporting events sometimes can, become problematic and things happen. So anywhere really, or, manufacturing places.
Absolutely. Yes. There are so many places where AutoTQ can be used. Anywhere people gather really is going to be important, and anywhere you're using sort of hazardous equipment or big heavy machinery, you never know. Even driving a car, you never know. And so we think that preparation is really important, and it's important to plan for those events before they happen. And AutoTQ is a big part of that for a lot of people now. So we're excited to see that. And when it comes to a tourniquet, there's no difference there. Like, unless you are a professional and it is life saving in professional hands, it's really hard to use for someone like me who's not a medical responder. And so that's what sort of struck the inspiration for AutoTQ is how can we enable anyone who's willing to help to jump in and control bleeding, which is the number one cause of death and trauma. And we've come up with a solution that's now being used all over the country. And so it's very exciting to see it now in the hands of responders who can help.
That's amazing. And can you discuss a little bit about how it works, like how it's, effective on in the field? Like, and that could be even like car accidents if you happen to be there before like a responder gets there, that type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So the whole idea is if you are familiar with an AED, an automated external defibrillator, you sort of, if someone goes down for cardiac arrest, you grab it off the wall and it tells you exactly what to do. And most people, don't know how to shock a heart with 1,000 volts of electricity, but the AED enables you to do that. So we wanted to combine the same thing for bleeding control, where you just pull it off the wall. It talks you through exactly how to do it. So all you do is press two buttons to make it work. You power it on. It tells you place it above the bleed and then press inflate. You press inflate and it automatically tightens to control a bleed. So it's two steps. It can't get simpler than that. And we made it sort of stress proof so anyone can grab it, even though this is probably the most stressful situation you'll encounter. You can still jump in and provide that help.
And now you were mentioning that if it's just like a regular layperson, somebody out there, where would they find the technology? Is it online or where would they get that?
Yeah, so we think auto TQ should be placed next to every AED. Anywhere you see a defibrillator, there should be an auto TQ right next to it. And experts also say that at the same time, where they're putting bleeding control kits, but we think that it should be a usable bleeding control kit. And that's sort of what we've developed. But yes, it's available on our website, theautotq.com, if anyone would like to learn more about the product. We're partnering with communities all over the country who are implementing this, which has been amazing. So you can reach out and check it out there.
And now, you also mentioned now some of the first responders, are they starting to use this technology as well?
Yes, we have everyone from first responders, police departments. We have hospitals, ambulance services, all the way over to your layperson on a construction site or in a data center. We have a lot of different markets that are really interested in it. And it's been amazing to work with the customers who know if I have this, I can protect my team. So it's been awesome.
And now what are some other things that you're working on right now? Are there any kind of like glimpses you can give us into some like technology that you're kind of in the process on and working on?
Well, the company is called Golden Hour Medical, and the golden hour is that first hour after an injury occurs. We're looking at all kinds of different innovations in that area, and there's a lot to be done to sort of improve trauma response within that first hour. So we have some ideas in the pipeline, nothing I can share quite yet, but we are excited for the future of our business for sure.
Now, what are some of the things, I guess, maybe not talk about the tech that you're working on, but what are some of the things that are important? We talked about the bleeding. What are some things that are really important in that first hour?
Yeah, I mean, my primary focus is bleeding control, so that's really the
Okay.
main thing that I can speak to.
Okay.
I know there's other things like airway hypothermia, but I'm not a pro in that area, unfortunately. So I'd probably just speak to, I mean, bleeding control is always the first thing you treat in the military. They do an acronym called MARCH. The first thing is always massive hemorrhage because that's the thing that, unfortunately leads to death the quickest. So we
Okay.
said, let's solve the first problem and we'll see about the rest of them as we keep going.
Okay. One.
Well, we're predominantly doing auto TQ right now. What do you
Okay.
mean other technology?
Okay.
Like the ones we're thinking of?
Yeah. Things that you might thinking of in the
Oh,
future.
yeah, we're really focused on auto TQ right now. We definitely have other ideas, but mainly bleeding control for now.
Okay. And what are your goals for the company for the future?
I think primarily our main goal is to get auto TQ where it's needed. We know that in order for it to be used, we have to get it into as many places as possible, and in front of as many people that are willing to help as possible. And so I think those are the main goals as we're going forward.
And what about you as an entrepreneur and so working in the industry? Are there other things that you want to tackle? I know you want to grow the company. Anything else that you have like in your on your radar to do?
I really love medical devices. I mean, I got into medical devices from the time I was in high school and was very interested in it. So I love this field. Like the idea that you can not only serve someone who's going through probably one of the worst days of their life, but you can also serve the practitioners and providers who are treating them is really my main interest in this area. So I think I'll stay in this area for a while and we'll see what comes next. I'm not really sure right now, but yeah.
Okay. And now, if people wanted more information about the technology or just to get it for themselves, where would they go? Just to the website?
Yes, our website is the
Now, for some reason, can you hear me? Because I couldn't hear you on that last part.
don't know why. Oh no. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yep.
Okay, sorry. It connects to my phone sometimes. I don't know why it does that. I'm
Oh, no
sorry.
worries. So we might have to
Mm.
just so from the website. So if people wanted more information, they would just go to the website, which is
Yes, if you want more info, you can go to theautotq.com and we would love to connect with you. You can see overviews of the product, testimonials, and reach out directly to our team. So we would love to connect.
okay, perfect. And now, is this national, like on a national level? People can get it anywhere across the U.S.
Yes, AutoTQ is patented and FDA registered, so it's available for sale anywhere in the US.
Okay, wonderful. Well, that's great. No, thank you. And like the testimonials, and hopefully we see it in different different places and also being just, in school. Where are some of the places that you kind of want to see it? I know you were talking about first responders, schools. Are there any other places that you really think this would be a great fit to have it?
Yes, absolutely. I think anywhere people gather is a great place to have auto TQ.
Okay.
So we look at, also hazardous industries. So something like a construction site or a job site where you're dealing with hazardous equipment, something like a manufacturing facility, a data center, stadiums, we have purchase it. Anywhere people are gathered in large numbers, we think auto TQ is a great fit.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Well, thank you. And now, are you active on social media? Anywhere we can kind of follow more of what you're doing?
Yes, you can find us on social media at Golden Hour Med or go to our website and our social media is linked on there too.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I really appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much. And I hope people, go and learn more about this. It's life-saving, technology. And, it's something that should definitely be everywhere that people can get it when the time comes and they need it. So
Thank you so much, Melissa. It was great talking to you.
you as well. Thank you for joining the Business Roundup, where we always try to bring you interviews with some of the leading people in business, whether it be technology, finance, or energy. I hope you tune in. I hope you subscribe and listen, and we'll give you updates for new interviews that are coming up. Until next time, I'm Melissa Bell.